My name is Jesse with Jace Interactive, and we bring to you Ryssa Through Time. Ryssa Through Time is an action RPG where players guide Ryssa through ancient dragon trials to master elemental powers and eventually confront Vaxes, the destroyer of worlds, before his reign fractures the land beyond repair. In Ryssa Through Time, players become Ryssa, embarking on a quest to recover the fractured pieces of Nyxi's time relic, unlocking access to the ancient dragon trials. Each trial presents a unique mix of puzzles and combat that tests both mind and might. As she masters the elements of fire, ice, wind, and even time, Rhys's power grows, but so does the threat of Vaxis, whose dark reign threatens to unravel all of Elydria. The choices players make and the trials they overcome will decide whether Ryssa becomes the world's savior or its final echo. Mechanics included in Ryssa Through Time, such as Aether trials. Each elemental trial serves as a self contained puzzle and combat arena. Players complete environmental challenges and enemy encounters to earn new abilities tied to that element. The elemental power system grants abilities from the trials to enhance both combat and movement and traversal. Fire increases attack power, ice enables environmental manipulation, wind offers enhanced mobility and limits aerial movement and flight. Earth allows heavy stones to be moved with ease, and even time allows players to shift or rewind world states. The combat system blends light and heavy attacks with elemental abilities, allowing players to create fluid combos. Movement upgrades such as gliding and dashing and climbing unlock new regions for exploration. The companion system in certain missions will allow the player to take control of Nyxi, who can aid in combat or help to solve puzzles. The player's success or failure during these trials impacts the story's outcome. Each victory or misstep alters the balance between order and ruin. The platforms for Ryssa would be PC to start, hopefully moving to console post graduation. Would fall in as an action RPG, and we will be using and utilizing Unreal 5.4, Visual Studio Enterprise, and scripting in C++ for core systems, making sure to utilize blueprint wrappers for rapid iteration and prototyping.
Hi, my name is Amber, and I am in charge of narrative design and character development in Ryssa Through Time. I will be focusing on character development, storytelling, and narrative integration. I will ensure Ryssa's persona, gameplay, and interactions will align with the vision for the story. I will also be heading the designs for the elemental abilities and player interactions with other characters, enemies, and the world itself. My key focus is the main character design and functionality, story structure, and in-game interactions.
Hi, my name's Cody. I'll be focusing on the gameplay design and UI programming within our game. I will oversee the game design systems and player experience, bridging the gameplay and the interface design. I'm going to be developing the HUD and visual feedback systems that track player progress throughout our quest, our journal entries, and story objectives. I'll also be working on the environmental layout and objective mechanics that will assist in driving our players' motivation, overall cohesion, and the narrative and gameplay flow. My key focuses will be on the game design, the HUDs, quest tracking, journal tracking, environment and objective functionality and design, story coordination and gameplay integration, and the menus that we have in our game and all of their transitions.
Hi, I'm Ethan, and I'm in charge of the UI and UX systems programming. I'll be focusing on building intuitive and responsive UI systems that will include inventory management for collectibles, relics, and key items. I will ensure that menus, icons, and player interactions remain accessible, consistent, and cohesive with the overall style of the game. My key focus will be the player inventory, the collectible systems, interfaces and item management, save load integration, and tracking.
Jesse here again. I'll be focusing on gameplay and AI programming. I'll be heading our core gameplay systems and enemy AI behaviors, ensuring that combat and encounters feel dynamic and responsive. I will integrate anything from AI reaction functionality and design, and I'll have a heavy influence on the lore and storytelling of the land of Eladria, all tying it into our enemies and the interactions within the world to strengthen the overall game and environment. My key focus will be AI systems for enemies, gameplay logic, combat systems, and audio mic integration for the narrative driven gameplay mechanics.
Hey, I'm Yander, and for Ryssa, my key focuses are puzzle design and systems programming. So I will be leading the design and implementation on the various puzzle systems that are kind of going to form the backbone of our world building. I'm also leading the design on the various time travel mechanics and some of the boundaries of the story. I'm going to construct some of the logic and themes to kind of help reinforce the narrative while managing the systems for time control and environmental control. So again, all my key focuses: puzzle design, logic systems, time travel mechanics, and environment interactions, as well as the level design for puzzles, integrating the puzzles into the levels, cohesion, and some of those world building systems that are tied to the overall exploration.
Our team shares several overlapping areas of interest and responsibility, requiring close collaboration to make sure all systems will work well together. Each member has their primary objective, but we have all agreed to maintain an open and cooperative workflow where everyone can have access across different areas. This approach will allow us to work on our skills across all skill sets and work with one another. For example, members who focus on UI will also have a chance to assist with puzzles and enemy design, and vice versa. This will help us with our team cohesion. Some of the influences for Ryssa Through Time include Ori and the Blind Forest for that real ethereal, visual, and emotional storytelling. Pulling from games like Dragon's Dogma for dynamic action combat and unique creature battles with a built-in companion system. Borrowing from things such as Zelda Oracle of Seasons and Ages for things such as a multi-map within timelines to access different areas to complete missions. And for our time shift and rewind abilities coming from games like Chrono Trigger.